of Race Department. Here we are at the new track to the game, Zandvoort. We're just a little bit late for this one, but we have joined at the beginning of the qualifying session. I do apologise, didn't run a little bit over, but it is a 109 as a banker lap. That is the quickest time so far. Only two drivers have put in a lap right now, they're all putting in laps as Big C goes 4th position. We'll have a look at PR1 Will, might as well, on his lap coming up towards the 3rd sector split now. He's made it pretty nicely through that corner, and it's a pretty tricky track to get right, but you are looking at some pretty low qualifying times, realistically maybe 109s I guess. That's what they're all doing right now. That will improve throughout the session as the track evolves. But here it is, last week's race winner. Will he go on to provisional pole? He's only going to go 7th position. He got McLaren's first points for them last Tuesday, my mistake everyone. That was a good performance from him as coming across the line now is Shelley in the Haas car. He was in a gargantuan fight with Davidos last week for one of the final spots on the podium, and it was Shelley to take the position there. Unfortunately, he can only manage P11 right now. Looking nice and sunny out on track right now. Here's FTRL Danny on his lap right now. We've got a couple cars ahead of him as Alex, I believe that was, just going to 2nd position. Both Ferrari cars doing pretty good. Of course, Kian was in the Red Bull last weekend. He was filling in for someone there. Actually, we only have one Red Bull right now as Danny's actually going to come to the pit lane. So who are we looking for on our lap? I believe everyone's already finished their opening laps, and we'll see some guys come into the pit lane as Super Scrub has just begun his out lap actually. Coming through as tricky left-hander. That's turn number 3 there. It is pretty tough to get that one right. It is a wide corner, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if we saw at least one overtake here. But right now he's going through turn number 7. This is a really interesting corner. It's going to be one of the action zones. One of my favourite places to run side by side with people, because it is so fast flowing and you really have to be on the edge to thing perfectly. And he's just coming to the end of his out lap. Hasnain has begun his lap right now. He's currently in the 2nd sector, coming up towards the corner before the DRS straight. This is turn number 9 I believe, and you just want to kiss the apex ever so slightly, run it a little bit wide and open up the DRS. He missed that detection point ever so slightly, and now braking down at the 100 meter boards, just maybe in between the 150 meter boards, and now up through the gears now towards the almost flat out final corner. You do have to brake a little bit there. It doesn't look like this time will set the timing screen to light, but he hasn't put a lap in yet. Alfa Romeo, the only team with no points in a race department in this season so far. Can he get high up on the grid? It's 15th for Hasnain, unfortunately for him. What about Super Scrub? He's just begun on this lap and just coming through the 1st sector, through the S's section, one of my favourite parts of the track, as I said before, to go side by side and up towards the famous turn 7, completely banked through here. Very tough corner to get right, and you can send yourself into a high speed spin if you are not careful. And now coming through the end of the 2nd sector right now, just at the middle portion of it actually, braking down pretty. I don't actually know the reference point for this corner, but a little bit of a slide coming out the corner there. But he seems to be okay on this one, as now to the sector split time. He's done a 43.3. Super Scrub had a really good race last time out in China, so he's hoping to replicate that this time by. I don't remember where he finished exactly. I believe it was the low points or something like that, but he did make up a lot of positions in that race, and now he's going to come up towards the line to complete his lap. Where is Super Scrub going to go? And it's only 16th for him. He goes slower than Hasnain by not too much actually. There's not much in there, as Bankai Bullet and Danny both on their first laps. Demon's just on his out lap, currently in the 3rd sector. So we'll follow along with Bankai Bullet on this one. He wasn't too happy with other drivers last weekend, unfortunately. Sorry, I keep saying weekend. I keep forgetting. Oh, a bit of a slide coming out the corner there. Luckily he caught it, but that is going to cost him a little bit of time on this one. So he's about to run up to the 2nd sector, split into the 3rd sector. It's 49.3 through the 2nd sector. I don't quite know how good that is in comparison to guys like Clarkey, Alex and Kian at the moment, currently taking up the top 3 between them. As a McLaren gone off, I believe that's Danny. He was on his lap and it said he went purple through the 1st sector. Unfortunately for him, he's lost it at turn 8. He's gone into the gravel, so that is his lap completely over there. What about Super Scrub on this lap right now? He's not on a lap. It was Bankai Bullet and he goes 17th, and Svanderburg It's Van der Broek. He has the most fastest laps. He has 2 fastest laps in the 2 races that he started. Clarkey improves on that time, not by too much, only by about 1.5 tenths, or just a little bit under that, but it's still a decent enough time for him to extend on it and make it hard for other drivers to fight with him. Davidos unfortunately invalidates on this lap. One guy to watch out for in this race is Big C. He's about to start a lap right now. You can see just letting the cars get away from him. There's a Haas coming out behind him. That's CRG Demon. Coming up to the end of his lap. Unfortunately, he got a drive-through penalty last time out in China. He's run out of ERS now, taking the shortest route to the line. He actually could have gone a little bit further to the right, but it's still going to be 1 minute 9.3 on the medium tyres. I'll say that is a decent time from Demon there. He gets into 10th behind this man, Big C at the moment. Came second last weekend, and he continued that podium streak that he's got running so far. Current championship leader is this man here, so he's doing really well to put it this high up, especially since he hasn't got a win so far. So that is going to be something he's going to want to rectify and maybe do today. But he is on a podium streak at the moment, and he's currently on the most amount of poles for any driver. He got pole in Bahrain, and he got pole last time out in China. So now coming through the middle sector right now, up towards one of the only DRS straights. There's 2 DRS straights in between the 3rd sector and the 2nd sector, just on the split there. And then of course you got the start finish straight. He's 3 tenths slower on this lap. He's not improving that much, despite the fact that everyone is running on track right now, or most people are. So it is a bit strange to see that he's actually lost a lot of time and now he's running out of fuel. So he was pushing, unfortunately not anymore. We'll have to follow along with someone else on a lap. Is Davidos on a lap? Davidos is not. Alex is though. He took a win earlier on in the season, and he didn't have the best of weeks last time out. I believe he came 5th or 6th. Ollie D also starting this race today. He did a pretty decent time. He's not pushing on this one, but he goes 4th fastest, and Alex has gone, he's improving. Alex is improving. Will, whilst we weren't watching, he went 2nd fastest. So the track is improving, and we are going to start to see some better times coming out. Kian, who was running 3rd for a little while, now in 7th, and Alex was in 2nd, now he's in 5th. So the track is ramping up, and Alex is going to cross the line. What can he do? Can he go quick? Yes, he can, with a 108.9, and he is just quicker by 200th of a second. And oh, there's a bit of contact between Shelley and Super Scrub. See if I can find him there. Wait, I saw glitched. Brilliant. What did he do? He hit Super Scrub. Do either of these guys have damage? Yes, there is. On Super Scrub's car, he's missing his front left end plate. Oh dear, what's happened between those two? There might be a little bit of an exchange of words between those two. Might not be the nicest words, depending on who's in the right and who's in the wrong, as Raymith retires in the pit lane. What is that? Oh, that's Raymith's car. He didn't retire in the pits, he crashed it completely. We're about to see with Danny. This was at turn 7. I did say that you can lose the car there, and oh, Danny coming close to the car there, and he actually probably put him off a bit, because now he's invalidated his time. So Danny can't piece a lap together. It's Van der Broek, not on the best run right now, unfortunately for him. Let's see if Davidos is pushing right now. He's coming up to the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, he will. He goes 4th fastest in that Renault car. What about Kian? He's on his run right now. He's racing a lot of them. He's actually racing most of the races so far in this season of Race Department, so I'm surprised he hasn't actually got a full-time seat, but he's doing pretty decently right now. Currently running in 8th position for the Ferrari team, his teammate being Alex today. And he's just coming through the 2nd sector right now, opening the DRS up now. That's a little letterbox at the back of the car. What can he do? Is he going to improve? He is a little bit slower through the 2nd sector, but he still has the final sector to make up for it, as now he goes up towards turn number 13, the almost flat out run to the line. Now here it is, he puts the pedal to the metal, and he's going up towards the line, trying to get the shortest run up now. He's going to pull into the pits, so he's not going to see that one out. He's going to return and do another one, and there goes Shelley, the man who has a 5-place grid penalty. Don't forget, he goes quickest with a 108.6. that is a good time from him there. Let's see if we can find someone on a lap. Or there's Danny, not on a lap. Oh, Bankai Bullet's 5 tenths up on this one. This could see him move up the grid only by 1 ahead of Oh, Van der Broek's left the session now. That's unfortunate for him, as Bankai Bullet, he was 5/10 up through his second sector. He's on the medium tyres actually, which is quite interesting to see. He must have had a massive error on his lap previously. Now he crossed the line. He goes 16th position, but he's only got 5 minutes left, so he can put in another run. Very, we've not seen much of him. Currently running down in 15th. See how Demon did his lap on... Oh, Demon's gone off the track there, and he's taken out the brake marker. He's still improving, somehow. It said he improved on that one there. Well, he went for a little bit of a trip to the gravel there, unfortunately for him. That is going to put an end to his lap and to one of his soft runs, as trying to find someone who's on a lap. I believe that Jared is actually on a lap, so... he's coming through the third sector. Yeah, he is coming through the third sector right now. He's getting a little bit of a tow from Super Scrub, but he lost a lot of time on that one. He's going to come to the pit lane now, so he's not going to see that one out. What about Clarky? Clarky is not pushing. Come on, boys. I'd imagine they are just coming to the pit lane, finishing up their final laps, and then coming out for their final runs of the session, and then we will get into the race. It's going to be 36 laps around this Zandvoort circuit. I'll actually get some track facts up right now, because just like not just the important ones, not the ones that I always say in other streams. And look at that, Clarky being a little bit held up by his teammate coming to the pit lane there, so he's gonna lose a bit of time, but realistically, 4 minutes to go around the track. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds, so it's not the end of the world that he's getting a little bit held up. Just might be a little bit boring, as Davidos, it's going to be the first one on his outlap. We've actually got Kian further up on it. I know I've got the ref glitch, so we can't go on board with Kian, and look at that, he's shifting between 4th and 5th. What is he? I love this game's glitches. I really don't. I hate them. As oh, Will's on a lap actually. Is he pushing? He is pushing on this one, and he's gone quicker through the second sector. So this could be a good time from Will. Oh, he's invalidated there. He might see this one out, maybe just to see what time we're doing. Oh well. As we've got yellow flags, that is probably B Colt coming out for his outlap, so we won't bother with that one. We will follow along with Kian on his lap though, because he's currently coming through the first sector. He's got a Red Bull or an AlphaTauri just up the track a little bit. That is a Red Bull of Van der Broek, who I believe is an AI, because I believe he left the session. Oh dear, what has happened there? Right, we're back on board then, as he's coming through now the second sector up towards... Oh, you want to maybe brake just before those Fly Emirates boards. I'd say that's really where your reference point is. And now opening up the DRS to cross the second sector split. Is he improving on this one? He's improving, but not by that much. Just under half a tenth of improvement for Kian now. So on the run up towards the line, can he improve through this short sequence of corners? And now up towards... Oh, he went off the track there. And I have it to say he went around about the same amount as Will, but he didn't get an invalidation. And now he's crossed the line. Only jumps ahead of Dan the Snake there, so with a 1 minute 9.40, B Colt's going to retire out on track right now, so I don't know what's happened to him. And Bankai Bullet has been disqualified from this one for blocking the pit lane. What do you mean B Colt's there? He's not going to be happy with this one. Danny is purple right now. He hasn't managed to put in a lap, and he's gone off. He's not going to be able to put in a lap on this one, because now he's gone off the track there. He was pushing on that lap as well when he went purple, so I don't know what he did there. As Shelley's starting on this one. Let's find someone who's far up on a lap. There's a Ferrari far up. As oh, Barry's got a 5 place grid penalty as well. We've got a comment on the stream, so we might as well say hello to them. Oh yeah, oh dear, Bankai indeed, unfortunate for him. Though I genuinely don't think that's his fault, because there was B Colt there, and he's actually saying in chat, well, thanks for that. Unlucky for him. Let's see who's far up on the lap. We were actually far up with Dan the Snake. He's not improving by too much on this run, but it could be enough. So to cross the line, Dan the Snake, can he improve on this? He does improve, but he's 0.02 of a second behind behind Kian there, so that's unlucky for him. There's Demon, he might have gone off on that one. He was pushing, he was a couple tenths up on that on there. So everyone seems to be making mistakes. This could really open an opportunity for someone. Look at that, Alex was improving, he invalidated on his run. Will is currently coming, he's not doing a lap. Will he actually get around? He's not going to get around, so he's probably not going to start another lap. Jared will definitely get another lap in. Ollie D coming through the third sector. He's running 7th right now. And look at that. The former Veloce driver does invalidate there, unfortunately. He's going to run up to the line just to see what his time would have been. And it would have been a 109.0. So it would have seen him move up the grid by a little bit, but not by that much, unfortunately for him. Jared comes into the pit lane. What happened to Bankai? Bankai got disqualified for blocking the pit lane when there was a car spun out in front of him, when it wasn't really fair, because he wasn't doing anything there. So don't know what happened there. Will's coming up to the line on this one. It's not looking like he's improving at all. So he crossed the line. He can't improve on this run. Alex has just begun his lap. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Shelley's not come out on this one, as Danny is actually going to get in a lap, but he's not going to have enough fuel. Look at that. He's probably going to run out on his lap. As I'm really confused as to who to watch. We can watch Big C. He's not pushing on this one. He's going to start way down the order. The two-time pole sitter in this season so far, not going to be on pole. Jay Clarkey, realistically, the only guy that can challenge for pole right now, because everyone else is melting on their laps. They're not putting it in. But what about Jay Clarkey? Is he's going to run up to the line? This could be his pole time. Can he do it? No, he can't. He improves, but not by enough. 400ths exactly behind Shelley. So Shelley's looking like he's set for pole. Danny isn't finding much time on his run either. Somehow he's not. He's probably going to run out of fuel. He's 3 seconds up, and he's done a massive lock up there, and that's put him in the gravel. He is completely he's done on this lap. He can't do a better lap, unfortunately. Super Scrub crossed the line. He goes 7th fastest. No one's going to be able to touch Shelley on this one, as Danny's the last driver on a lap. He's going to weave, put it in the wall, mate. Just do it. Unlucky. He still improves, but it's just not enough. He lost 3 seconds in that last sector. Unfortunately, for Danny, he didn't do well on that run. But Berry has apologised in the PSN chat for some reason. I don't know what happened. I think it was... oh yeah, I don't know. But with a 5-place grid penalty, Shelley does take pole in this one. We're just waiting for someone who's in the pit lane. Oh, don't tell me. Kian might need to retire on this one, and Shelley as well. There's always a glitch. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, whilst we are in this little bit of a time of just in the space with nothing happening, yes, the facts are still there. So let's have some facts about this fact that let's have some facts about this track. Of course, there is it is called Circuit Zandvoort, and it's 4.2 kilometers in length. It's one of the shortest circuits on the calendar, and then a 50% race is going to be 36 laps. There's 14 corners. There's 4 to the left and 10 to the right. That means it is a clockwise circuit, and overall the race distance is going to be 153 kilometers in all 36 laps. And we haven't got a lap record on this one because, well, the last time they raced was in 1985, I believe. But the first GP held here was in 1952. Alberto Ascari won that one. Of course, he's got a corner named after him at Monza International Circuit. And right now, the last winner as of 2020, of course, there was no winner. We didn't do a race. It was Niki Lauda, and he was driving for McLaren Tag. And there's been a total of 34 races held here. And look at this. Now, here is the full qualifying results. Shelley with a time of 1 minute 08.6 with a 5-place grid penalty. That will see Clarkey on pole. Davidos taking up 3rd. 4th for Alex and Will in 5th. Jared in 6th. Scrub in 7th and 8th for Ollie D. Kian in 9th, and Dan the Snake rounding out the top 10. Formula Jake in 11th and 12th for Big C. Demon in 13th. B Colt 14th. Raymouth, Berry, Hasnain, Danny, Svander Brood, and then Bankai Bullet, who was disqualified on his run. We are now getting ready for the beginning of the race now. And Hasnain just letting everyone know in the chat, good luck to all our drivers. Hopefully we have a nice fun race, and it's going to be interesting to commentate over. Looks like a bit of rain could be on the horizon. I'm actually just going to run and get a drink now so I don't go into a coughing fit like I did last time whilst we're on the formation lap. So see you in a minute. Hello, I'm back. Just had to run and get a drink because if you watched last week's stream, which you should, it's on my YouTube channel, basically what happened was I wouldn't stop coughing and it was really annoying, but I did get through the stream. I believe Connor told me that, that's Big C Connor, that Alex said, I have coronavirus. And I chuckled when I saw that, when he called me that. But Alex is going to be one to watch in this race. As a man with great tenure in the league racing scene. He's been league racing for a very long time. As I'm just going to see, whilst they're finishing up the formation lap, if I can go onto the race department website, if they've made any standards. Or any that I can see at least. That is F1 2019, the game. We want to go on F1 2020. There is the pit stop strategy displayed to you now. Softs too hard is going to be the strategy for this one. And you want to go do 12 laps on the soft tyre, where their life expectancy is around about that. I will actually get the life of all the tyres up on my little information chart that I have. As everyone just Clarky now, just letting everyone get backed up. Now the air does take control, so that means we will get underway very soon. It's about 13 to 15 laps is your life expectancy on the softs. Then mediums going to be 17 to 19 laps, and 22 to 24 for the hards. You're losing about half a second on the mediums and then a whole second on the hards. As yeah, so we're about to get underway. Let's do it. And we just wait for the last of the drivers to pull into the grid spot. It's going to be Van der Bruges to be the last one, and then we will get underway for the race department. As get on with it. There we go. Right, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4, and we've got 5 red lights. Here we are, Ron, we are go here in Zandvoort, and it has been a good getaway for Alex there. Look at him, he's right up to the back of Clarky there, coming into turn number 1. Davidos has the inside line, he's got the position already on Clarky, so Davidos moves into the lead of the Grand Prix. Clarky's dropped back by 1. Alex sitting in 3rd position right now, as now they're all swapping positions further back behind. There goes Jared around the outside of Alex there. Alex beginning to now slip down the order a little bit. They're going side by side through turn 3, 4, 5 and 6 now, coming up towards turn number 7. Who's going to be the braver one? It's going to be Alex to get the position, and he's going to hold in P3. Meanwhile, Ollie D and Will going side by side through turn number 7. Will has to back out on that one. What a performance we've seen there from him last Tuesday, sorry. But it is the perfect start for Davidos now. He's moved ahead of Clarky, and they're all just filing in single file right now. The 2 Red Bulls going side by side. Van der Bruges made 7 positions on the start, or I believe it was 7, or maybe it was 6, but he's now going to go up the inside of his teammate, maybe up the inside of B Colt now, and now he's got the inside line. There's a little bit of contact, he might have got a little bit of damage there, but he seems to be okay. Now Ramus now going to look towards his outside. Demons drop back from the start, he's on the hard tyres, and he gets by Danny though, so Danny moving down into 17th position as now Davidos completes the first lap of the Grand Prix here. Look at that, oh, they're all swapping positions further back behind. I don't know what that means, but apparently DRS has been enabled. That is not true, everyone. We have to wait until lap number 3 until DRS is available to the drivers. So now, as we got yellow flags through sector 1. Who is that? That is Danny, I believe. That is Danny gone. And yeah, Danny's way behind everyone. So in the FTRL Danny tribute race, it is not going well for him in this one. So I think it was CRG Gamer that told me that was a little bit of a joke, that Davidos is streaming the race, and he called it CRG Gamer, no, called it FTRL Danny tribute race. As now Shelley looking right behind Will, who gets a bit of a slide coming off the corner there. Shelley could be invited here. He was quickest in qualifying with a 108.6, but unfortunately for him, he got a 5 place grid penalty, and Van der Bruges has gone around. He's in the wall. Don't know what he's doing though, so I don't quite know what's happened there. Has he got wing damage? He's definitely got the wing damage on that one. as I will read out the comments in a moment. As they're all just kind of following behind each other. It's pretty difficult to make an overtake around this track, but fastest laps are going to begin to come out at this very moment. Who are we looking at to make a position into turn number 1? None for the top 5 at least. What about further back behind? Doesn't look like it. So they're all just holding fire right now for the time being, but I imagine as the race progresses we will see more courageous fighting between all of the drivers for position. We saw some good tussles on the first lap. Shelley's right behind Will at this moment, so he's going to want to try and get past him there, but they're all following in a big train at the moment, as B Colt, who's on the soft tyres, is right behind Formula Jake now. And yes, that is a good point. Bankai's up 4 positions after getting disqualified on this lap, so very good for him there. As Clarkey looking at the rear of Davidos right now for P1. Davidos had a monumental fight with Shelley for the final spot on the podium last week, but it is now him fighting for the win. He's already taken a win in this season so far. Of course, he won in Bahrain, so he's looking to make that 2 wins in this season. That would be the most of anyone. We have had a unique winner from every race from a different team as well. It was Alex winning in week 1, Davidos winning in week 2, and then in week 3 it was Will right now fighting with Ollie D, and he's lost the position. Well, he was trying to get by Ollie, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't get by. He couldn't get the move done into turn number 1, so he's just going to tuck in behind the Racing Point car. Looking at that BWT side, best water technology and all. Will running a little bit deep to the corner there, unfortunately, so he's going to lose just that little bit of time to the Racing Point driver. As we got Bankai Bullet around. Bankai Bullet spun out in turn number 7. And that is going to put a sour taste on his race, unfortunately for him. He's not going to lose it to Van der Bruges because he had to pit to get that wing damage replaced. So Bankai Bullet not going to be happy with that one. He didn't have a great week last time out, but this week he won't be happy with that one either, as Ollie D right up to the back of the Williams of Super Scrub. Super Scrub had a great race last time, but now, oh, he's getting a little bit wayward on the exit. Now Ollie D gonna swoop towards the inside line. He's on the right hand side, coming up towards turn number 1. This should be an easy move for him, but is Super Scrub gonna hold him around the outside? He's trying to keep his nose in there, but unfortunately for him, he loses the position. So it is Ollie D moving up into P5, and now he's gonna have Jared in his sight. Can Will close up to him here and maybe get around Super Scrub as well? Super Scrub looking like he's struggling at the moment, and now Will, oh my goodness, he's going to go around the outside, and he's got the inside line for now turn number 7. What a move from Will there. That was incredible from the McLaren driver. He really is proving himself to be one to watch in this championship. He moves by Super Scrub, who's lost 2 positions on this lap round now. What a move from Will there, and wow, I am actually quite shocked that he actually managed to pull that one off. I don't think that Super Scrub was using any of his ERS, but now what about Shelley? He's got loads of ERS to play with. He could be one to make a move on Super Scrub, who seems to be tumbling down the order just a little bit now, unfortunately. But on the run up towards turn number 12 and turn 13, will Super Scrub have that bad exit like he did last time? As Will might be feeling a bit of pressure from Super Scrub. It might switch to the other way, as now Super Scrub tucking in the slipstreams right up to the gearbox, and now he's going to look to the inside line. Has Will left him enough spaces? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Will's around, and last week's race winner is around at turn number 1. He's got to wait for everyone to go by, and that both McLaren cars struggling in this race now, as both drivers actually went around at turn number 1, and now Berry right up to the back of Will, and that could push him into Danny. So these 3 kind of conjugating at the same position right now, but it is unfortunately only for 16th position, as Danny actually does get by on Berry there. Joker says in before Bottle called it well. Unfortunately he did. I don't want to say it like that, but I think he might have bottled. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. I really shouldn't have said anything. Look at all that detailing there. That gravel, in that gravel, there's a bunch of sand, and that's because Zandvoort's track is right by the sea, and it's built on sand dunes. So there's a bunch of excess sand just lying around the circuit. It's brilliant. And now Clarkey looking to the outside of turn number 1. This is what's really important. Can he get the move? As now on exit, he's going to be side by side with Davidos for P1 at the moment. He's going to have to go around the outside for turn number 2. And what a move from Clarkey there. He moves into P number 1 as Davidos has to melt a little bit there, unfortunately, as Alex is now going to be sniffing P2 at the moment. Jay Clarkey with a great move there. Unfortunately, Davidos used up a lot of his ERS, and so he's got nothing left to really fight with on him there. That was a really great move for Clarkey there. I'm really impressed with him as he moves into P1 on this race, as Alex now in the DRS of Davidos. Davidos, who was leading this race after getting a great start. He swept down the inside, I believe, into turn number 1 of Clarkey, and now Clarkey did the same thing to him, but instead for him around the outside, and then he got the move into turn number 3, as Kian now falling into the clutches of Super Scrub calling into the clutches of Kian, who's just gonna sort of let him by there, not gonna fight him that hard, as now Kian moves up ahead. No DRS for Super Scrub on Shelley, so Shelley losing a lot of Super Scrub losing a lot of positions in this race so far. He's got Dan the Snake behind him, and Formula Jake, who's on the hard tyres. That means he's gonna go later into the race than everyone else and be on the soft tyres at the end of it, so this could be a really good race from him, as the same strategy coming out for Demon, Big C, Danny and Berry. And imagine they all work that out together, since they are good friends, all of those guys, and all starting outside the top 10. You might as well go for that strategy, as I've just kicked my wires. I almost pulled them out and that would have been disaster for me, because my stream would have died, and no one wants that to happen, as Jared now trying to defend from Ollie D, who's on a charge in this race, sort of up towards P5. We'll actually have a look at the positions gained in this race. You can see Ollie D's up 3 positions, there's a big mistake there from Jared, and now it's 4 positions for Ollie D. Shelley's maybe going to look up the inside as well, who's into 5th position, as Jared, he made a big mistake there actually, as now Bankai Bull is out of this race. That's his race over for him. That could be a safety car if he's retired on if he hasn't retired on track. As here comes Dan the Snake on Super Scrub. Super Scrub losing the position once again. He's really struggling in this race. I don't know if he's got damage or anything. It doesn't look like it from where I'm sitting. But he might have a tiny bit of damage. It doesn't actually always appear on the MFD. And look at that, Bankai Bull is just in the middle of the circuit. How is there no safety car for that? Come on, you bring up the safety car for someone losing a bit of front wing in the wall, and then there's none for that. Like, oh, sorry, I almost swore there, but God's sake, as there's a big train right now forming behind Dan the Snake. And B-Colt about to lose the position to Raymond right now, who's come from 15th position on the grid. Now sliding through there. Lost a little bit of time, but he's following behind the Alfa Romeo B-Colt, who was in the Racing Point last week, I think. Or I'm thinking of someone else, but I do believe it was B-Colt, as Davidos is the first one to come into the pit lane. That is an early pit stop, considering they can go maybe 3 or 4 laps more. He fits on the hards to go to the end of the race for him. I have noticed, I say unfortunately or not, which I guess I do that at least, so fair play. But we go back to the tyre graphic, because I think that's what everyone really cares about in this race. Shelley and Ollie is the closest gap on track right now, as Davidos is going to be navigating through the traffic. That is the only kind of downside to pitting early, because you're going to have a lot more traffic that can hamper your undercut. He's presumably trying to undercut Jay Clarkey here, who can theoretically stay out for a couple more laps. Maybe Davidos took a lot more out of the tyres than Clarkey, and that would of course mean that he'd have to pit earlier and deal with the hards being a little bit more worn out towards the end of the race. But the undercut is an effective strategy around most tracks. You're actually not losing much around here, in the pit stops. I can get that up right now. I can get the pit loss. You're losing 19.5 seconds in the pit lane, so you're not actually losing that much time. So yeah, it's pretty decent. As we've got a couple more coming into the pits. This will be interesting. Clarky's come out of the pit lane now. Where is Davidos? Is Davidos going to be ahead? They might be side by side on exit here, as now Clarky's going to slot himself almost in between Danny and Will there. Look at that. Danny's going to fight him back and get by, and oh no, Clarky's in the wall. Clarky's lost half his front wing, as now this is disaster for the race leader, and now he's going to have to come into the pit lane again. That is going to be so frustrating for Clarky there. I don't know what happened with him and Danny. Danny really shouldn't have fought that. I mean, you're only going to hold yourself and someone else up, but you know, I'm not saying, well, morally he shouldn't, because it's the race leader, you know, well, the net race leader. He was leading the race before this, but he did have every right to, so I'm not going to throw blame at him. But that is going to be really, really frustrating for Clarky at this point. That basically hands the lead to Davidos now. He's got, who's in second? Alex will be in second. Ollie D comes into the pit lane. Alex going to extend this stint, and Shelley as well. They're both extending their stint quite a long way. You can make it to about lap 12, so they're going to pit when they are recommended to. The coughs are beginning to come out. I have no clue what happened with Clarky and Danny. Bankai Bullet says, I got pushed off the track out of turn 8, nowhere to go. Unfortunate, mate. Stuff happens. You just got to come back stronger next week. So unlucky for him. And oh, Jared getting a little bit of a slide, trying to overtake Berry there, who hasn't pitted, and he's got a little bit of a gap to Ollie D. So Jared's lost a lot of time in this pit stop phase, as Super Scrub's now right behind him. Super Scrub was losing a lot of positions. He's now ahead of Dan of Formula Dan the Snake. I don't know why I called him Formula Dan. Look at that, trying to go up the inside the Williams car of Super Scrub. As meanwhile, Demon gets by B Colt, whose tyres are going to be running out quite a lot. He started on the soft tyres. He's going to have to pit onto the hards. Demon can go a lot longer into this race. He can come in maybe around like, I don't know, maybe lap 26, I'd say. Who's got about half the lifespan of these tyres left to live. He's right behind Big C right now, who's quite a ways back from Formula Jake. So if there's a safety car later on in the Grand Prix, which will let these guys come into the pits, fit a new set of tyres, which will be the softs, I'd expect, you'd really think that they'd be in the lead and had the best chance of winning the race. But Davidos might have a couple things to say about that, because he's not too far off of these guys who haven't pitted. He's the leader right now, the net leader. Meanwhile, Super Scrub losing the position to Dan the Snake. He was fighting with Jared, and now Jared's got by Berry. Berry might have had a moment there. I didn't quite see what happened. I was more focusing on what the leaders were doing. Demon is right behind Big C at this point, as they could start fighting. They have that mutual respect with each other. Both managers and part owners of the F1 side of their teams, at least. Ben being, of course, from CRG. Now Alex coming to the pit lane. Shelley's going to stay out one more lap. Interesting. And Big C, of course, being a part of Brutal Democracy Gaming. And now here comes Demon. Big C's not even going to fight that one out. He gets by into turn number 1. And there is that mutual respect. They're not going to try and take each other out in this race. Or at least not hope to have each other take each other. At least hope to not take each other out. I know I wouldn't. Why would you want to take out your friends? Look at this. Alex has actually jumped him. Alex has jumped Davidos on this extended stint. I was talking about it earlier, that if you fall into traffic, you're going to be pretty screwed over. Alex has moved ahead. He's got onto the mediums. I don't think he can make it to the end, to be honest. I think he might be in a bit of danger. Oh dear. So Alex, I don't know if that was intentional or he's put on the wrong tyres. But nevertheless, someone's gone off. Or it's just a random yellow flag. That does happen sometimes. Yet another glitch with F1 games, because why not? Shelley now going to come into the pit lane on lap number 15. Well, it's just started now. Formula Jake assumes the lead of the Grand Prix, and now the only drivers left are the hard runners. There it is, the tyres for Shelley coming on, the mediums to go to hopefully run to the end. I still don't have too much confidence, but I'll see what my information tells me. They could actually make it. If they get a safety car, they'll definitely make it, but they'll probably go into another set of tyres, because like most people would. Also, seems to not be any safety cars coming out in this league. We didn't have one last week. There goes Shelley on Ollie D, trying to go around the outside for turn number 7. Can't get by. There's more yellow flags. That's Big C off. Big C, the championship leaders, had a spin in the second sector, and now he's fighting with Alex right now. Alex is right behind him, and now Big C blocking the racing line a bit there. Might be trying to help Davidos out in this race, as now up towards the second sector split. Davidos is going to be allowed to catch up to Alex here. This could be monumental. Will Big C decide to stay out and hold up Alex? Danny's now left the session, and that's unlucky for him. But look at this, Big C gonna have Alex right behind him fighting, and look at that, Big C's going to defend slightly, and he's squeezing right up to the wall. That is Schumacher Barrichello-esque in Hungary 2010. Big C's going to swoop down on the inside, trying to defend the position, and now Alex has to fight back here as coming through turn 2 and turn 3. Davidos right behind in this fight now. Alex really getting held up by Big C now, as coming through turns 3, 4, 5 and 6 up towards the famous turn 7. Will Alex try and shape up a move? He's basically bomb drafting Big C through this complex of corners, as up toward turn number 8 now. Davidos is right behind Alex here, and all this fighting with Big C will be wrecking Alex's tyres and making sure that they won't be able to go longer into the race, as meanwhile Jared getting by the ghost car of of Jared. Then Shelley now right behind in this fight as well. He got a 5-place grid penalty, the Haas driver, and now he's fighting with the net leaders. So what's happening here is Big C's creating a massive train, stemming all the way back down the order to around about Raymith, who's all the way in 14th position. Meanwhile, Formula Jake loses the position to Demon. Big C can take it easy here. He's using up all of his ERS just to give Davidos a chance at the net lead, and there goes Shelley up the inside with the superior grip at the moment on those yellow wall medium tyres. The Haas driver gets 5th position, as now there's been more incidences. I think that's Kean gone. Yeah, Kean's in the wall. Don't know if he's got damage on that car. You can see here he's got a bit of damage here, and now Alex and Big C going side by side through turn number 7. There's contact between the two, as now there's a bit of damage to Alex's car. There's damage to Alex, Big C, and they've made contact. So, and there's more contact, and they're both off the circuit. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. They're both off the track. Big C's day goes from bad to worse. Alex has damage. He has to pit again, and his strategy is in tatters now, as contact was made between the two. So Alex, he went into the he understeered into Big C, of course, with that damage that he got, and now he's got he's missing a whole end plate there. That is going to be detrimental to this race. And now Shelley, the leading medium runner, one of the only medium runners on the circuit right now, he's got clear air in front of him, and he's in the net lead. The only two drivers yet to pit are, of course, Demon and Formula Jake ahead of him, and Big C is yet to come into the pit lane. He could just extend this stint longer, because why should he? Why shouldn't he? As Alex, regrettable day for him. He's not going to be happy that Big C held him up so much. He was at right to defend the position. You're allowed to do that, you know. It's not like there's someone on a faster strategy than you, or just someone who's already pitted. Oh, I better let him by. You know, you can defend that. That's what I was saying earlier about Danny. I mean, you really shouldn't, because you're only holding yourself and them up. But it's not against the rules to fight with someone, you know. So the contact is another story. It could have been Big C's fault. It could have been Alex's fault. Alex was getting a bit impatient, because staying behind him was backing him up into Davidos, and also giving a little bit of a window to Jake and Demon once they pitted, because of course Big C spun off somewhere, Danny's just losing positions at this point because he's in AIO mode. As a Red Bull off the track, that's Sander Rouge. Once again, he's second off in the race. Shelley sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Ollie D's right behind. He finally comes into the pit lane. He's probably going to fit the medium tyres. I don't think the softs can go to the end on lap 19. As we continue, we've crossed the halfway point in this race now. So we got about maybe 20 minutes more of driving, I'd say. Lovely stuff. Some of these guys, frustrating races for them. Absolute madness coming out. Oh, I just heard a grumbling noise. Don't know. Bankai Bullock finally leaves the session after he retired. He is our only retirement, and the day just goes from bad to worse for Van der Rouge, because now he's sped in the pit lane. So that is pretty much the end of his race. As Davidos, he's lost a lot of time here to Shelley. Now Ollie could be in a prime seat to get the position on the Renault driver. He won in Bahrain and he got a podium last time out. He's now in a net P2, so it's a good start to the season for Davidos. But now with DRS, he lost a bit of time coming through turn 13 and 14 there, so he can't get the move into turn number 1, but he is very close and in position to eventually, not right now though, as Berry trying to defend from Super Scrub. Super Scrub does, he has a little bit of a slide through the first corner. Meanwhile, Will gets past his teammate, unfortunately, who left the session due to disconnecting. As Super Scrub really trying to challenge for the last of the points. Super Scrub, he's been on these tyres for 9 laps. Berry hasn't even pitted yet. Berry is yet to pit in this Grand Prix. He's running the same strategy as Demon, Jake, and Big C, who was on that strategy before, but now he's pitted onto the mediums. He saw no reason with the wrecked tyres to stay out, so he decided to go onto the mediums, which will make it to the end. Shelley's tyres, I'm still touch and go with. I haven't actually looked at my information. I probably did, but I just didn't say anything. And there's a Williams gone. That's Super Scrub. Super Scrub's off, who was fighting with Berry right there. So his race over and done with now. As let's see, where is it? Oh right, okay. Wait, I've lost it. I've lost my graphic. That is very strange. I don't know. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just trying to find my thing, but I've completely lost it. The meaning can last 20 laps, so they can go to the end for Shelley. Okay, that is all the confusion over and done with. I've completely just had a moment though. I've just gone completely off the rails. I'm so stupid at the moment. Real talk. I thought I lost my my whole spreadsheet. As there's another spin for Super Scrub. I think he's just retired. He's retired out on track. Could that maybe trigger a safety car? And that could actually call Demon and Jake into the pits if a safety car were to come out. Moving on to lap 22 though. Who is fighting right now? Ollie still following right behind Davidos. What is Super Scrub doing? Super Scrub probably got wrecked tyres, mate, so his he was just all over the place. He's retired now from the session, so that's the end of his race. He makes 2 retirements in this Grand Prix, the first being Bankai, but now Super Scrub being the second. As gaps have started to form in this race, it will be interesting to see when Jake and Demon come to the pits. Meanwhile, Alex gets by Clarkey. Alex is on a bit of a mission right now to at least salvage something from this race after he made crazy amounts of contact with Big C. And imagine if Alex were to catch up to Big C in this race, which he's not too far off from doing. There might be a little bit of hand raising to each other. They'll probably have some words after the Grand Prix because it looked like a really messy and amateur affair between the two. I will say it now, like, you know, it is crazy to see. Both these guys are so experienced in league racing, but you know, stuff does happen, and it you know, but for two championship rivals to be making that bit of contact, that could be detrimental later for some of these guys. What if Big C didn't have that contact? He could have won the championship, but unfortunately he's lost it. Or the same goes for Alex, you know, that contact could cost so much for the drivers later in the season. Alex is right up behind Hasney right now for P14 on track, so he's going to get by Hasney, not even going to try and fight that one out. But Big C is next on track for Alex. This could be an interesting affair. And Big C's actually catching up with Danny. I wonder if Danny's not even pitted yet. Danny's AI hasn't even gone to the pit lane yet. That is something else. Oh, it's because he's on the hard, so yeah, why wouldn't you? Why would you come into the pits? But as the other drivers' tires are getting on a bit, like 12 laps already for the hards, you're not losing that much time to Demon and Jake, who now comes into the pits. I did actually call it. Lap 23 is probably going to be the time when they come to the pits. Now, who is going to get the jump? Will Jake get a jump on Demon? They're not losing too much time in the pit lane as now they come out on circuit. Demon is going to be ahead. He could come out in... Where's he coming out? He's coming out in about 5th position. 4th place for Demon there. He's got the best opportunity to win this Grand Prix. Let's see the gap to Shelley. There is 5.7 seconds between the two on completely new fresh soft tyres. Jake in 7th as well. I think most of that time was made up by Big C just being a bit of a mobile chicane and holding up the entire field there. He's already 1.1 seconds behind the fight for P2. He's going to be rapid towards the end. I think Demon could be a race winner. He was leading the championship last time out. Unfortunately for him, with that drive-through in China, he lost the championship lead. This could be his best opportunity to get it back here. So now, up right behind these guys, he's now already in DRS section. He's going to be strongest in the traction zones, most likely. Not going to be so much on the straights. You don't really need grip on the straights. Ollie might want to get a move on here to get by Davidos, because he won't want to have a car fighting with him right now. He might want to get ahead of Davidos, because that will be the first car that Demon tries to overtake. But he's already right up to the rear of the Renault driver, so up towards turn number 5 and turn number 6. This flat out S's section up towards turn number 7. The grip that he will get on exit here will be insane. And now through the couple of corners, look at that, it's already a purple sector. I think Jake actually topped that. Yeah, so Jake is going quicker than Demon right now. He's right up to the back of Jared. It's oh, look at these guys, they're all conjugated into a 5/10 window. 3 cars in 5/10 as now Big C is out of the race. He's crashed the car. The championship lead and the virtual safety car has come out. That is gonna at least help a little bit. I mean, if they were to come into the pits at this very second, they'd probably come out ahead of Davidos and Ollie, and then be right behind Shelley. Not right behind Shelley, but pretty close to him. Look at that, Ollie's already trying to get a jump on Davidos right now. You have to follow a Delta under the virtual safety car. Now the DRS have been enabled. No drive-through penalties coming out for these guys, so they all kept to their Delta time. But that is a little bit less time that Demon has to get by here on these guys. A little bit of a breather period for Ollie and Davidos. As now through the fast flowing corners comes the 3 drivers, 3 different engine manufacturers. It's Renault leading with a Mercedes engine in 3rd and 4th for 5th. Of course, I meant leading by leading this train. Of course, the leader. Did I say a Renault in 4th? I meant a Ferrari car. It's powered by Ferrari, that Haas. The American F1 team flying the American colours, and now up towards the 3rd sector split. He goes past, and that was a textbook move for Demon up the inside. He moves on to the podium now, and Davidos is going to be his next target. You'd think he's going to try and fight him into turn number 1. How much of a fight Davidos puts up will really be a test to see, as now help towards the corner now. Look at the speed that he's got coming down the straight. He's not even using his ERS, and now on the inside goes CRG Demon. 7. He gets by on Davidos, and he moves into a Haas 1-2. It's 4.7 the gap to the leader of the race right now. That is the time that he has to make up, and he's got plenty of time to do it. 10 laps left to go in this Grand Prix, including this lap, of course. So we'll be looking at Formula Jake, who is beginning to catch up to these guys. And here goes Ollie up the inside, coming into turn number 7. They come close to contact. You can fit a cigarette paper between those two as Davidos holds P3. And I just wanted to have a little bit of a James Allen line. Can you blame me? The man is a legend in the sport. As a commentator, someone I look up to, as now opening the DRS. He's right behind these guys. Formula J, you could see a podium position, could maybe even be a 1-2 for the soft runners. The alt strat looking fruitful for these guys, as already he's right up to the back of the two, fighting for the podium for so long in this Grand Prix. Then the soft runners just come out of nowhere, as now with the DRS doesn't even have to use any ERS, as now he's got the slipstream of Davidos coming up towards number 1. He's going to be a little bit boxing. Formula Jake gets the move on Ollie D there. That was an easy move for him, but how long is he going to wait to go past Davidos, as now he's right up to the rear wing of the Renault car on the gearbox. He's bump drafting him out of turn number 3, and now not going to use any ERS right now through the fast flowing left-right sequence into turn number 7. Is he going to maybe make a move coming through here? It is pretty much impossible to do that, but he doesn't drive it. He's got plenty of time to do it, as now there's a Alfa Romeo out. I think that is B-Colt. B-Colt has spun it out of turn number 3, coming into turn number 4. That is his race effectively over. He's probably destroyed those tyres, but Berry has lost quite a lot of time to him, actually. Through the pit stop, of course, he hadn't pitted, as all this fighting has brought Jared into the fight a little bit. For 4th position it will be soon, as a little bit of a bump from Formula Jake there onto Davidos. I think Davidos maybe got a little bit wayward out the corner, as now through the final couple of corners into this flat out banking sequence. Look at the run that Formula Jake has gone. We're going into the helicopter camera for this one, because now Formula Jake looking to the inside. This is for the final position on the podium. Davidos has nothing to fight with on that one, and Formula Jake moves into P3 in the Grand Prix, as the next target for Demon will be his teammate. His tyres are going to be struggling at the end of the race, so will Demons though, as the pace will begin to subside as we get later on into the Grand Prix. Those softs will die out, and the mediums will be a little bit stronger than them maybe towards the end of the Grand Prix, but that will just be a test of how well Demon manages them, as this is an also familiar fight we've seen between Davidos and Ollie. They've been fighting for practically almost the entire race ever since the pit stop phase. Davidos, what the race could have been for him, when he could have been fighting with Clarkey for the entirety of it, but there was contact between Clarkey and I believe Will, I think, or someone else. I think it was actually Davidos. Oh no, it was Danny. It was Danny after Clarkey came into the pit lane. He hit Danny, or something happened between those two when Danny hadn't pitted yet. So bad race from Clarkey. He's way down the order, but with DRS on Davidos, Davidos actually got the assistance from Formula Jake. He's just snuck into that 1 second window just for enough time to cross the detection point. There you go, quick swig of water, because my voice is getting a little bit weak into the dying stage of the race. Maybe I should get CRT Gamer into the commentary box with him. That'd be fun. I'll ask him if he wants to do race department comms with me next week, but we might be doing 5 lappers, I don't know. As Davidos still trying to defend here from Ollie. These guys are just following behind each other, having a nice little train. Davidos now though doesn't have the luxury of using DRS on Formula Jake, so this will push him back in towards Ollie, and Ollie D will get his hands around the neck of Davidos and swoop by him in a matter of time. But will Jake maybe drop back just a little bit, give the DRS to him? I don't think he will, as now opening up the pedal to the metal and opening up the steering up towards the final corner, and now towards the start finish line. Not close enough into turn 1. He can send a Titanic lunge, but it's not close enough. There's really not many overtaking opportunities around this track. It's really fast flowing. It's like a mix between Austria. Well, it's not even Austria. What's a really fast track? Like Canada, maybe. And Hungary, I'd say. Because Hungary is pretty open track, but it's really hard to overtake. And then Canada's a pretty fast one. And look at that, Davidos touching the grass a little bit through turn number 7. I think around this time will be Ollie's best opportunity to overtake Davidos. He really has to be on the rear wing if he wants to make a move on the Renault car. And the Renault car seems to be better on exits, despite having two lap older tyres than Ollie, who practically cuts the entire corner there. So he's probably got a warning for that one. But this could be Ollie's best opportunity. So now putting it into turn number 13 and 14, and oh, it's a poor exit from Ollie there though, but he opens up the steering wheel, and he's using his overtake as now Davidos goes defensive, but Ollie D goes to the inside even further, as now Ollie D on the inside of Davidos. Davidos is going to try and fight this back there side by side, wheel to wheel up the exit there, and this could be disaster if they make contact. But there's Davidos. Oh, there was a little bit of contact between the two, but Ollie D's going to try and hang on in there as he can't get the move. So Davidos with a great bit of defensive driving on Ollie there, but he's still right behind, using up the overtake. He's trying to find a gap. He really wants to get by this time on this lap, but oh, Jared's just watching behind. He's using up a lot of ERS actually. All of these guys on really low ERS. I would have expected one of them to at least save up a little bit to try and fight later on, but now Davidos is way out of the DRS of Formula J. There's pretty much no chance of him getting into it. So this could be the unravelling of Davidos' race if Ollie can just nail the exit of turn 14. Nice little bit of water. Will somehow moves ahead of Berry. What's on the softs? Did Berry have a mistake? Wait, oh no, it's Berry getting by B car. Right, my mistake. As Ollie still cannot get by Davidos. Davidos has defended this position really well. He has defended perfectly throughout this Grand Prix. Had his fair share of incidences though. Of course, he was nearby the collision between Clarkey and Danny, which saw Clarkey, who was the net leader, fall into fourth all the way back down the order. He got damaged. He was in the wall. Really would be banging the steering wheel for that one. Not much really happening out on track right now. They're all just following one by one. Ollie is running out of time to fight with Davidos though. 2 laps fresher tyres on the Racing Point car. Of course, it's not going to make that much of a difference considering they're both pretty old. But it could be enough to help Ollie out, as with the DRS, can he sense an overtaking opportunity? He's not going to use the ERS. Maybe if he used a little bit of overtake, he could have got by, but I think he's just saving it up. He's going to start storing it so he can use it later on. What about Jared? He's got hardly anything. He's actually got the lowest out of the 3 drivers there. But I do think that is what Ollie's going to try to do. Maybe also Ollie could force Davidos into a mistake if he just gets right up to the rear of the car. Alex moving into P11 now. His race really hasn't gone that well after he made an insane amount of contact with Big C. I don't think Big C will be happy with that one. I always enjoy watching his highlights of races though, so I'm not going to get one because he's not going to make any. Or if he does, which would be nice to see, wink wink, I'd love to watch it because they're always fun to watch. He puts very nice songs on there. Why am I talking about Connor, a man who is retired from this race, just talking about him for no reason, just because I'm saying I like his videos? Ollie could be on for a move here. He's not close enough to make it into turn number 1 though. Davidos used up some ERS on that lap, so Ollie, with 2 laps remaining in this Grand Prix for him, needs to get a move on. Demon, whose tyres are beginning to slide off a bit, I think. Used up a lot of ERS. I don't think he can catch Shelley. I think it will be a Haas 1-2. But I don't think Shelley's going to lose this position. I think Shelley can go to the end and win this race. But saying that, he's actually losing quite a bit of time to Demon now, so could we see a last lap fight? Formula Jake's really dropped off here from Demon. They were right behind each other coming into the pits. As Ollie, once again, opening the DRS. He's going to try it into turn number 1, I think. And that is where he will use up all of his DRS. Davidos has saved up just a little bit, but Ollie has got much more of it to disperse of on the DRS straight. So now opening up the steering, he lost a lot of time through there, visually at least, and now he opens up the ERS. He's already running out of it. That is insane. But now up towards turn number 1. Will Ollie go to the outside on the final lap of the Grand Prix? He can't get it. Can he maybe try and make a switchback move into turn number 2 and turn number 3 now? Up towards the run up now. Here he goes. He can't get it. Davidos defending with all his might, and this could invite Jared into a fight here. Could they run 3 wide later on in the lap? We'll never know. But here they come. Jake's also dropped off a lot to these guys. This could be a fight for third if Jake's not careful. Is now coming through turn number 7. Ollie right behind Davidos like he has been for so long in this Grand Prix. He's got to send a move at some point in this race. You're a racer, just go for a gap. Come on, son. He's so close to him as now there's a bit of deasing, and Davidos has run wide. Davidos makes a mistake there as now they're side by side opening up the DRS. This could be right to the end of the race. Here comes Ollie on the outside up towards the end of the DRS straight. Has Ollie got the position? They're side by side still, making a little bit of contact. Here comes Davidos now as there's a slide from Ollie there, and Jared could be in with a shout here as now up towards the final couple of corners. I think Rainus gone off there as now also actually Zandvoort, but up towards the line. Oh my goodness me. Can Ollie find a gap? Will he go for it? I think Davidos ran out of fuel. Ollie got it on the line. Davidos who ran out of fuel. Oh my goodness. I want to see that gap. I want to see it so badly. Incredible from Ollie. He snatches it right on the line off Davidos. Jared finishes in 6th. Dan the Snake followed behind in 7th. What a titanic battle between those two on the final lap, and that will be one to shake hands about at the end, because that was an incredible race between those two throughout all the way to the end of it. Shelley wins this Grand Prix. I didn't quite get to mention that Shelley won that because we were watching that fight after he made the mistake. That was what really unravelled it for him, and Ollie saw the opportunity. Oh my word. As Keane's the last one to cross the line, and that is the end of the Zandvoort Grand Prix, or the Dutch Grand Prix here. Wow. And there is your driver of the day, CRG Demon. He came 2nd after running the alternate strategy. What a fight to the end. I think Davidos ran out of fuel. I really do. As there it is. Well, Davidos not happy with his pace this race, unfortunately. He was happy with how he performed. There is Demon. For some reason, he's a woman, but he celebrates at the top of the podium. That is not Demon. That is Shelley. Right, Shelley wins this Grand Prix. Well done to what nationality? Oh, it's Estonian, isn't it? It is Estonian. I do remember. There it is. Shelley winning the Grand Prix. Demon in 2nd. 3rd, 4th, Formula Jake and Ollie in 4th. Davidos taking 5th. And look at the gap between those two. That is less than a 10th. Separating Ollie and Davidos at the line. Jared taking 6th. 7th for Dan the Snake. Raymond in 8th. 9th for Will. And then Alex in 10th. 11th for Berry. B Colt in 12th. Hasnain in 13th, and Clarkey, I'm really gutted for him actually in this race. He's in 14th, Kian in 15th, Danny in 16th, Zandvoort in 17th, and then your retirements from this Grand Prix: Big C in 18th, Subscrub and Bankai Bullet. And I actually did just see in the chat that Clarkey bottled it, he says, so it might not have been contact with Danny. He might have just got involved in some sort of issue, I don't know. But that is the end of the Dutch Grand Prix for Race Department. Congratulations to Shelley for taking the win. But next week I will take you through coverage of Race Department. See you later, everyone.